Hello, my little artists. My name is Miss Katz with Comic Kids, and today we are going to be doing a really cool read and draw class for the book, The Day the Crayons Quit. So what we do in read and draw is we read the book together and then we draw in the style of the illustrator. So after I read to you, we are going to draw these cute little crayons in the style of the illustrator of the book. So you are going to need a pencil, paper, and something to color with, and we're going to get started reading right now.
Teaching kids art through comics, cartoons, and books. Comic Kids!
The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt and pictures by Oliver Jeffers. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. Hey, Duncan. It's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizards hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside of the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only things I get are turkey dinners if I'm lucky, and wheat. And let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants, and I know that elephants are gray, but that's a lot of space to color in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhinos, hippos, and humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of those things? Such big animals. Baby penguins are gray, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Dear Duncan, you color with me, but why? Most of the time, I'm the same color as the page you're using me on. White! If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in a rainbow. I'm only used to color snow, or to fill in empty space between other things, and it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. White Cat in the White Snow by Duncan. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw the outline of things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometimes? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I am writing for two reasons. One is to say that I like my work. Loads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things green career so far. The second reason I write is for my friends, Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Dear Duncan, Yellow Crayon here. I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking. And I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me to color in the sun on your Happy Farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm shining down brilliantly on a field of yellow corn. Your pal, and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you. The big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell Mr. Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I'm clearly the color of the sun because on Thursday you used me to color the sun on both the Monkey Island and the Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Orange, you glad I'm here? Ha! Your pal and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I have really enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I'm so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Duncan. Okay, listen here, kid. You have not used me once in this past year. It's because you think I'm a girl's color, isn't it? Speaking of which, please tell your little sister I said thank you for using me to color in her Little Princess coloring book. I think she did a fabulous job of staying inside the lines. Now, back to us. Could you please use me sometime to color the occasional pink dinosaur or monster or cowboy? Goodness knows they could use a splash of color. Your unused friend, Pink Crayon. Hey Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I don't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help! Your naked friend, Peach Crayon. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color. And of course he wanted his crayons to be happy. And that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring. And an A+ for creativity. The end. Okay, kids, it's time to draw. Let's take out our supplies. You'll need a paper, pencil, and something to color with. Let's get started. Okay, everybody, we're going to start drawing the illustrations from the book, The Day the Crayons Quit. You'll see that I'm going to be using some of these colors a little bit later. You guys are going to be coloring on your own, but you'll see that I chose red, orange, blue, green, pink, and yellow, but you guys can choose whatever colors you want. Let's go ahead and get started drawing a couple crayons. Okay, the first one that I'm going to draw is going to be in the center of my paper, and he's going to be the tallest. So I'm going to make a long, thin rectangle. But I actually am going to curve the lines just a little bit, just to have him bending a little. So I'm going to do a little rectangle, just like this, and the lines are a little bit bent. Very good. Now the top of our crayon has a little extra line, 2 other little lines right there and there before we get into drawing the tip. So the tip of our crayon is going to kind of bend over, come up, bend back down, and bend over. Do we see that shape? We're going to go over, up, and back over. And we are going to repeat this shape over and over again as we draw our crayons. We're just going to draw a couple little details in here, one of which is going to be this kind of zigzag pattern that is on these crayons. So I'm going to draw one line like this along the bottom, because this is the piece of paper that covers the crayon. And this is a little piece of the crayon that's sticking out. So I did one line here, then I'm going to come up, I'm going to do another line right above it. And then on top of that, I'm going to do these little zigzags up and down, just like this. They're like little triangles that repeat themselves. Later, I'm going to be coloring that in black. Okay, I'm going to start drawing some details on my crayon. The first thing I'm going to do is his face. So he's kind of a little bit angry and protesting right now. So I'm going to do 2 little simple dots for eyes, and then a big kind of round oval open mouth. Again, I'm going to color that in black later, but I've got 2 eyes and a mouth. And then I'm going to do this kind of twisty eyebrow. So watch how I do it. I'm going to come up and I'm going to make a kind of a twisty brow like that. See how I came up, I looped around, and that kind of makes him look like he's a little bit mad almost. Very good. I'm going to also add some arms and legs. So these little legs on these crayons are very simple. Just 2 little lines, 1 and 2, and we're done. Now the way the illustrator drew these hands and arms is pretty simple as well. I'm going to come up from the side. I'm going to want my crayon holding a sign. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to put one arm up like this. I just did a little line that goes up, and then a couple little squiggly lines to create a hand. So I just came up, I looped around. It kind of shows that there's fingers or a hand. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I want him to be holding a sign. So I'm going to come over to this side of my drawing, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to draw a rectangle right up here. This is going to be the sign that my crayon is holding. Okay, friends, I need to add a little stick at the end of the sign. So I'm going to just draw 2 parallel lines like this. Parallel means that the lines don't touch each other. So I did 1 and 2 lines and just connect it at the bottom. So he's not holding it yet, but we're going to add an arm in there and we're going to add a squiggly hand. So we've got our rectangle and our other very long, thin rectangle that is the pole that the crayon is holding. To make it look like he's holding the pole, I'm going to kind of add an arm here like this, and it's going to swoop up like that. Once I get to the pole, I'm going to stop. And then just like I did some squiggles for this hand over here, I'm going to add just 3 little kind of squiggles here really quickly, and it makes it look like he's holding the pole to the sign. And I'm going to write on here the word I quit. Now I'm just writing this kind of a little bit fast and messy because that's the way that the illustrator drew his crayons, and I want to draw this in the style of the illustrator. Very good. I'm going to draw another crayon here, and I'm going to go a little bit quicker this time. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm going to do the same exact design that I did before. So I'm starting with a rectangle. I'm going up on the sides like I did before, and then adding a tip. Just like that. On the bottom of the crayon, I'm going to do what I did before as well. I'm just going to add a little bottom. Very good. Then I'm going to do my little zigzag lines. So I did the 1 line up there, and then some zigzags. Awesome. On this face, I'm just going to draw an eyebrow that goes straight across like that. He's mad. 2 little eyes and a very serious mouth. Okay, I'm going to draw some little legs on my character. And I'm going to put his hands on his hips this time. So I'm going to loop my arm around like that and do that same little squiggly hand. There we go. I might be going a little fast for you. That's okay. You guys just take your time and do it at your own pace. Now that you know how to do the crayon, you can draw it on your own. I'm just showing you some examples of how you can do it. So this is what his hand looks like on his hips. Then I'm going to come on over here and I'm going to draw one more crayon. I'm going to come to this side and I'm going to draw a crayon with their eyes closed. So I've got my rectangle that I'm doing once again. It's okay that it's a little bit of a bent rectangle. I like the way that that looks. All right, and then I'm going to top it off like this. Once again, I'm going to do the top up here, these 2 little lines like that, and then do the tip of our crayon. Excellent. I'm going to add this little line and the zigzag one more time. Line down here, line up here, and our little zigzags. Very good, friends. I'm going to go ahead and add some legs, 2 little sticks. Voila, very good. Now, I want to draw a mad face on my character, so I'm going to have his eyes closed. And I'm going to do a really easy way to show that a character is either sleeping or their eyes are closed is by doing 2 little upside down U's like that. So I'm going to do 2 like that and then a frown. Very simple way to show that a character is upset. And I want to cross this little crayon's arms. So I'm going to kind of put the arm over here like that, kind of loop it around. I'm going to extend that line just a little bit and then I'm going to do some squiggly fingers. Once again, 3 quick little fingers. And then I'm going to do that same shape on the other side. So I'm going to kind of bring it around like this, cross the arm and do some squiggles. Those are some crossed arms in a very upset crayon. All right. Okay, friends, I'm going to start coloring my crayons on my own. So I'm going to do this quickly and you guys can choose whichever colors that you want to choose to color your own crayons. And there you have it, my friends. Great job drawing these little crayons from the book, The Day the Crayons Quit. Okay, my friends, I hope that you guys had a really good time in our read and draw class where we read the book, The Day the Crayons Quit, and then we drew characters from the book in the style of the illustrator. I'll see you guys real soon. Comic Kids is a nonprofit helping children in the community learn art through comics, cartoons, and books. To learn more, see our website at comickids.org and follow us on Instagram. For more videos like these, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.